Ahmer from Chaya Vision. I'm here with Colette. Colette, when we got your fight announced, right, we were actually quite surprised because it was your high level caliber opponent, right? Your high caliber fighter, and we were trying to get matches made. So when we got that match made, and I remember Josh messaged us saying she's game, everyone's game, and it got us really, really excited. So
Oh,
I want to thank you for letting me talk to you a little bit, get to know you a little bit more before that fight. Because I'll tell you what my first question is going to be, right? When
okay.
I go on your socials, I see all the accolades. I see everything that you've done and everything that you're doing and all that, all the training and the fight windows. Outside of Muay Thai, who is Colette?
Well, that's a good question. So outside of Muay Thai, I'm actually a full-time PE teacher at a secondary school. So I do that as well as basically a full-time fighter as well. I just have to kind of juggle everything and squeeze everything in. So yeah, that's what I do on a daily basis, Monday to Friday. I'm teacher, yeah, Mrs. Wada at the school. So yeah,
What is it?
it's very different.
How do your students take it?
Um, they really respect it, yeah. They have a lot of respect for me and being a PE teacher as well, like it's quite inspirational for them, so it's good.
Yeah.
But when I come in and if I've got like a black eye or stuff, they worry about me. So they're quite sweet, like they do care a lot about you, so yeah, it's nice.
You know what's quite interesting, and Elena touched on this, and a lot of the female fighters touched on this as well. Female Muay Thai is exploding right now.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
so many exciting fights out there. There's the one your fight, and there's even more that's happening around other shows as well. And so a lot of people are looking up to fighters like yourself, right? But you're different because you're obviously teaching the kids as well, and
Yeah.
you're seeing them. What's that impact with them? Because you don't associate. I've got young girls, but you don't associate, let's say, females with combat sports and then at elite level. What's that like? What's that interaction like?
You can sort of see it in like the young girls' eyes, like the ones that are clearly like they want to try things like that and they want to feel empowered and they want to do sport at a high level, even if it isn't a male dominated sport, if it's something else, you can see it light up in their eyes when they realize like that is what you do and you can tell that it's like inspiring for them. It's good for them to see someone, it's good for them to have a role model and you know someone who's I'm older now, but like, when I was first started teaching, a lot closer to their age, they're like, "Oh, this is doable. Like I can do this as well if I put the effort in." So, no, it's nice seeing it's not just young girls I inspire; it's young boys as well. So, yeah, it's good.
And
And the area that I teach in is like really deprived. So, and I'm from the area that I teach in as well. So, it's kind of showing them like, "Oh, I'm from here, but you can do this too." So,
how does that make you feel as a person?
like to be able to inspire.
Yeah, to be inspired. It's a big deal. A teacher has that kind of role anyway, but
Yeah.
actually doing the thing that you love that directly inspires, and you can see that the connection that you have with that, um, that's got to be special, right?
100%, like to be able to do that, it amazes me every day that I'm able to do that and yeah, that I get to do the thing that I love and help people on their own journeys, no matter how big or how small, to them because everybody's on their own path, but to be able to help someone do that is amazing.
So, where did your journey start? How did you get into Muay Thai?
So, as a kid, I did loads of different sports. My family just chucked us into loads of different activities, growing up. So I didn't actually do Thai boxing as a junior. I was quite competitive, quite high level gymnast up until the age about 15, 16. Um, and then I kind of had a injury in my back, so I slipped a disc. So I couldn't do that anymore. So I was out of a lot of sports for like 5 months or something. Um, and I got quite like what I would call depressed, really. Like I was really like down, like just not myself. Um, and then my mum's side of the family, they do boxing. They're all like sort of in that realm of stuff. And my dad used to do like kung fu and stuff as a kid, so they were always like, "Oh, you should go to the boxing club." And I think when I did karate when I was younger, I just was drawn to the kicking side of things. So I didn't know what Muay Thai was, but I was always like, I want to kick things. So I just googled like local kickboxing clubs, and the closest one to me was actually a Muay Thai club. And I went along at 16 years old and I just fell in love with it. I just did not stop going since I walked into that gym.
physically, how could you like if you slipped your disc and you're injured to do gymnastics, what was that like? Because there's got to be some type of fear, right? Because
Yeah, yeah, I
I'm
think I was
okay,
initially
you can
saying
call
that
me an
I was
idiot here. I don't know gymnastics, but no one's gonna punch you in the face in
no,
gymnastics.
no.
Whereas now you're in a sport where someone's punching and you're moving your hands a lot more. So surely like there must have been some kind of
Yeah, so I
tension or
had like
worry.
yeah, like when I first started, I was a bit apprehensive, like with it getting hit. But I had like follow-up doctor's appointments and stuff, and they had said that it was well enough for me to go back, so and do new things. So once they said it was okay, then I just kind of went like,
What was your first couple of sessions like?
yeah, they were really good. I think at the first time I went along, because I'm quite a small girl as well. Like I'm only 5'3", so when I first went, they're kind of like, "Oh, like you want to do Thai boxing?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I want to do it," because I just went along to a mixed class. I didn't go to like a ladies class or anything like that. And they're like, kind of like, "Oh, all right, okay, yeah, you can just join in. You can just start skipping." I don't think they were expecting me to just kind of just go all in because I was always very like physically active and physically fit, so it wasn't really like a bother to me to just get stuck in. Like I was always trying loads of things anyway, so yeah, I wasn't
Did you
phased.
find coming from like a gymnastic background make the transition easier? Because one of the biggest challenges is the flexibility, right? So presumably that wouldn't have been the challenge for you.
No, no, I've never struggled with kicking flexibility with my hips or anything like that. So that wasn't a struggle for me. My struggle was like um my boxing, that was something that I really, really had to work super, super hard on. But I was physically strong, I can hold my own body weight and do body weight exercises very easily and stuff like that. So those types of things weren't a bother. And because I was coordinated to move, like I know where my body is in space and things like that. It wasn't difficult to pick up the skills, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Because
get it.
it was kind
So
of
how do you transition from student to now wanting to go into the ring? Because that's a different mindset, a different challenge, a different obstacle.
yeah, yeah, that was crazy because from the moment I stepped in the gym, I always said, I want to fight, I want to compete. I'm a very like naturally competitive person, like and I have been my whole life. I grew up with two brothers, like everything was always a competition, everything was a race, like just really, really competitive with pretty much all aspects of my life. Um, I was always saying, I want to fight, I want to fight, I want to fight, and there's like, the kind of the sort of atmosphere that I was in at that time, it was always like, well, girls, don't really fight. They're too pretty to fight, blah blah, all this. It was very like rough and ready gym, all about, the guys and they're the ones that do the hard sparring, they do this, they do that. And then I started university to become a teacher, and my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, obviously, he had started training at the gym and stuff, and he had his first fight. And I was like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. So yeah, that was kind of like more competitiveness as well. I was like, I can definitely do this. So yeah, he helped me a lot to train me up to the level to be able to fight. There was a lot of sessions and that we would do 1-to-1 where he'd like hold pads for me and spar me just to make sure like my reflexes were proper, as well as like the classes and stuff like that as well. But yeah, it was a big transition, and I think that as well, like, I don't know what you really expect the first time that you're gonna get someone is gonna punch you full pelt in the face, but, yeah, it's not what I expected it to be like, but I think it's either for you or not for you, if that makes sense.
Got a
With
few
the
questions. I want to come back a little bit though, right? Because you touched on it quite well. So you have the competitive mindset, but
yeah,
you want to be the best, and you want to, you know what I mean? You're testing yourself. That's why you want to fight. So where is your teacher? I want to pick your brains a little bit. How do you teach that to kids? Because you want them to be competitive, but you don't
mhm,
want them to, because you got, let's say, 20, 30 kids there, right?
yeah, yeah, a
You
lot.
can't really have one winner. You want them to, how do you balance that as a PE teacher?
Oh, that is a good question. Um, so like a lot of times they'll do like adaptive rules. So if somebody is very, very like competitive and quite competent, like they're very able, we'll give them like more goals to go towards. So like, okay, like you can only score every second goal, or you've got to try and get a pass for everyone on your team before you score, and or roles where they're actually teaching other members in the class if they're that good, so like we always go by like show me, tell me, teach me. If you can teach someone how to do something, you're surely at a very high level that you can teach someone a new skill. Um, and that in itself should be fairly rewarding for the pupil as well. So yeah, things like that, or just making it more physically demanding for them. So like every time they score a goal or whatever it is, they've to do like two shot runs before they can join back in again. So it's like other people get a chance as well.
Excellent. Yeah, interesting. I was just curious to
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. The gym that you're training in now, is this the same gym you started at?
No, no.
So where are you training now?
I'm currently training at Hanumen in Edinburgh.
Okay. What's that
Yeah.
gym like?
Oh, it's amazing. It's a really, really good gym. We have a lot of like high caliber fighters out of Hanuman. Likes of Logan Chan is on one championship. Jackson Barkhouse, who just recently was on RWS. And we have they're all UK ranked. My husband as well, Adam Wada, he's WEC European champion. He's UK ranked as well. Sandra Bolska, UK ranked, just became WEC international champion. So yeah, there's like, and there's more. There is more, but like all very high level, all very eager. They want to learn. They want to be there. They want to train hard. So yeah.
And what's it like training in that type of environment?
Oh, I love it. Like personally, I love being in a place where I'm gonna be pushed to be my best as well. Because when there's something when you're training with people of this level, you've got to raise the bar to meet them. And yeah, we're all different weights and stuff like that. But when someone is training that hard next to you, you're gonna want to train as hard as them. So
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think having that many elite level fighters around is a bit about, like you say, the physicality is different. So it's not so much you're picking up skills from them, it's the mentality as well. They're
yeah,
not gonna let you slack.
no, 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 and I think, like, if you're training super hard as well, you can see them like, "Oh, right, like, I need to go as well." So, like, in that conditioning at the end, or if you're going and doing your conditioning on the bag at the end of the class, like, you're telling everyone else, "Come on, let's go, like, let's all get this done." So,
I was
yeah, it's
having
that.
this discussion with Izzy Wilkins, and
Mhm.
so like from a promoter's point of view, right? What you find is fighters that come from a gym, or fighters that, let's say, full time at a gym, or do a lot of classes in a gym, tend to sell more tickets and
Yeah.
tend to have greater exposure online, right? And perform better, like they have a longer career. That's what I
Mhm.
tend to find, right? And it begs the question, what do they actually do? Because you have this mindset where you think to yourself, actually, right, what's happening is because they're in the gym, they're training a lot.
Yeah.
But when you actually speak to those people that are in those gyms, they're not. They're training at maybe the morning session or the evening session with their fighters or someone. The rest of the time they're actually working. And
Mhm.
what and can you correct me if I'm wrong here? So I'm asking you this question, right? Is
Yeah.
what I start to think or start to realize it's the environment that's
Mhm.
around you. And I don't mean the environment like during the day, it's the people that are around you and the conversations that you're having. So, like, for
Mhm.
example, your husband now, they'll sit down and have a conversation with you regarding Muay Thai, regarding a
Yeah.
fight they've seen. You give your opinion, he'll give his opinion. You're in the gym, your coach is talking, you've got your elite level people, and you're having elite level conversation. Like, I'm not going to be able to have a conversation with you telling you how to perfect your teeth. It's not going to happen, right? I
Right.
can tell you about social media, yes, but I can't tell you about your technique. But your husband can.
Yeah.
Your all the ranked fighters, the guys on RWS, they can share this kind of information. There's so much value in that. So I'm curious to know, like, the effect that that has on you to be able to
Yeah.
pick the brains of all these elite level people.
Oh gosh, yeah. Like even just little things that like they like to do, or like, oh, your style is kind of similar to mine. Maybe you should try this. Oh, it's amazing, honestly. And like since I moved to Hanneman as well, they have a very, very strong knowledge of clinch. So I always kind of liked grinding on people anyway, but like, in a fight when you can clinch them and stuff like that. But I don't really think I quite had that depth of knowledge on like how to do it properly. But since I moved there, there's so many things that I was able to add on and really adapt and really own my clinching. And yeah, I really love it. It's really good. And other things as well, like I love to fight on the outside and stuff too, but just to be able to add that element into my game as well has been, oh, phenomenal. Yeah.
Do you find you steal like knowledge from them a little bit? Like, I like that. Let me get that. Teach me a little bit about that, and do you know what I mean? And add to your game.
Yeah, just, like, ask them, like, the only way that someone is gonna tell you something is if you ask them. So, you have to just ask, and, like, even, like, more and more now, like, recently, like, people will actually ask me, like, "Oh, like, what is it you did there when, when we were sparring?" Or, like, "What how do you do that?" And I'm like, "Oh," like, I've not really thought about it too much, but then you realize it's, like, they're trying to add to their game as well, but it should be a sharing culture, you should be telling people how to get better because they get better, you get better as well. I don't like people who don't share their secrets because that's not how it works. You have to help everybody get better so that we can all get better. There's no point keeping secrets to yourself just so you can get
Yeah,
an ego fine. What's the point?
exactly. What's the
Tell them.
what's the
Let
point?
them try it. If they can do it on you, then you need to work on your defense better. And if they can't do it on you, then well, they need to they need to work on the skill a bit more then as well. So you're never going to fight your training partners. What's the point? Tell them, help them get
Yeah,
better.
exactly. 100%. 100%. So let's go back a bit now. Your first fight. So
Oh,
tell me what's going through your head, right? So you're competitive, you want to take your first fight on, but there's gonna be a bit where there's the realization, okay, I'm gonna go into the ring. This person isn't a sparring partner. They are gonna want to knock my head off. What's that feeling like? What's that emotion like going into that first fight?
so my first fight, I got told a few weeks out. So, I obviously fight at 48.9 kilograms, and so it's fairly light. But my first fight, what I got told, okay, it's matched at 52, and I was like, all right, by this point, I don't care. Like, just match with anyone. I've had enough. Like, I've had enough pullouts. Just get me matched. And then the poster got released about 5 days before the fight, and it said 53 kilograms. And I was like, "All right, okay. Well, I'm just gonna have to do it. Like, I'm not pulling out. Like, this is I'm never thought about pulling out of a fight. Never, not once, no matter what. Like, I would not pull out of a fight." So we go there, and my coach at the time, there was like a lot of things going on, so he wasn't actually there. So the people cornering me were just two people that had been helping out at the gym, and he was quite adamant that I wouldn't that my husband couldn't be in my corner because he didn't like family members and whatever in the corner. So I had these two people who had been brought in to help in my corner. So I basically just kind of done the fight myself. But before I walked, one of my teammates, basically in the first like 10 seconds of the fight, got head kicked and was down, but then got back up and continued fighting and ended up winning the fight. But I had to watch that before I walked, and I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like, what if that happens to me? And I was like, well, I'll just have to forget about it. So then I had to walk out with people who weren't really that close with me and just do the fight anyway. Like, I just had to do it. I didn't win because I fell in love with boxing. So I like started boxing and I could see her head like flying back. And I was like, oh, this is like really good fun. And she was just scoring with like kicks that they weren't even hurting me. She basically done like a taekwondo match sort of. It was just like all these sort of flicky kicks. There wasn't even a scratch on me after the fight, but I didn't win. But I had a great time.
So
So
after that, you've had your first fight, you've seen all of it, you've done it. Do your confidence go up now? Like you would have had a little bit of anxiety when you see the person get, head kicked, but now you've done it,
yeah.
you've been in there, you've been through the environment. Does that now get you motivated, thinking, actually, how far can I take this?
Oh yeah, like after the first one, I was like, I remember I was on the phone to my mom after because she was like, oh, like she wanted to know what happened and stuff, make sure I was okay. And I was like, I just would go in there right now. I'd go in there back in there again. So, and she was just like, okay, like, that's it now. And my husband, he admits he never even really ever wanted me to fight because he doesn't want to see me get hurt. But he's been my biggest support through everything. But I think after that, and I was like, I'm doing it again. He was like, oh God, like here we go. Like
So
this is gonna be
you'd be able to answer this, right? Because you've obviously been there when he's fought. It's
yeah.
worse when the other person's fighting.
Oh, 100%. The being on the other side is way worse than actually being in the ring. So I understand why he doesn't like it, but he would
You-
never show it or admit it. But yeah, he doesn't he does not like watching me fight, but he corners me now. So
so
yeah.
you had your first fight. From there, I tell you what I'm interested in is because you've gone from there, you've gone from starting, you're a competitive individual. Where did you realize that actually I want to go elite level? I want to fight the best. I want to be ranked. I want to be professional in this sport. Was
Mm.
that a hard decision to make?
No, no, like once I do something and I put my mind to something, that's it. Like that's what I want to do. But like it was, I had a slow start in the sport. So I had my first fight in December 2021. That's when I lost that first fight, and then I went into the gym, and my coach, who couldn't make it that time, this is at my old gym, he was like, "Wait, we've got you another fight in February at 48 kilograms this time. Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, like let's do it." And I actually ended up knocking out the girl in 65 seconds with a head kick. So after that, I was like, "Oh, like I love this. Like I'll just keep doing this." So yeah, I had like maybe 2 fights a year from then onwards. And then when I had my first A class fight in 2024, that's when I was like, right, I wanna get ranked, because at that point, my husband had gotten ranked in the UK at that point. And then I want another one of my teammates, my old teammates, she had gotten ranked at that point, and she was one of my main training partners at my old gym. And I thought, you know what, like I should push myself. Like I can do this too. Like I'm not that far off the ballpark. Um, so I'd gotten offered that fight in 2024, and they're like, "Do you want to do pro am or do you want to do A class?" And I was just like, "Let's just do A class. Let's just go for it." Because I was so determined to get ranked. Like basically, I just wanted to be the same as everyone else. Like that, I thought I was roundabout
That's
similar.
insane though, isn't it? From 2024 to now,
Yeah,
and all the stuff that you've done. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Y
It's not I've not been doing fighting like properly for that long. 'Cause, yeah, my very first fight was C class in 2021, and then obviously I just won the British title at the end of last year in 2025. So that was
so
the same venue, this exact same venue where I lost my first fight to then defending my UK number one spot and becoming, yeah, WBC British champion. It's crazy. So it's like,
do you kinda look back, like, thinking, like, just even going back 2 years, like 2 Christmases ago
yeah,
to what you are now?
yeah, it's crazy. It's been really quick. I had 6 fights last year, so it was really busy.
So looking back over, I was gonna say, well, looking back over your fight career was looking back really over a year and a bit. So looking back over the fights that you had, what
Mhm.
would you say has been the toughest one that you've had so far?
Ooh. Like, depends what you mean in terms of tough, because, like, I
Whatever
would
you
say,
want it to be, because it's different, it's subjective, right? Because I could turn around and say, "Oh, your toughest fight is probably, that belt that you won." But for
yeah,
you, you know it different. So what's the
yeah.
toughest fight for you? Like, what would you say, "Actually, you know what? That was tough," for whatever reasons?
So, obviously, the last fight I had was, uh, the opponent was tough. She was tough. I knew she was not going to give up. Naomi Blankley. I watched her fight before. She actually fought one of my main training partners that I have now. She fought her like the year before, and Angelica is really tough, a really tough girl. And she beat Angelica, my main training partner. So I knew she was going to be game. I knew she was going to come for 5 rounds. I knew she was fit, and I knew she was going to come and press forward, 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 forward. For me, I actually don't find that tough. It's just you get tired in a fight, and you're going to be tired. You just have to get through it. For me, what's more difficult, what I would actually say probably was my toughest fight, was the final that I had in Verona at WBC World Games in June last year. So the girl that I fought in the final, she was American, a girl called Mika Ravolo, and she was very like similar style to me, like very in and out, in and out, in and out. And basically, because I got frustrated, I I c I couldn't, like, I think if the fight had been 5 rounds, I would have beat her, but because it was only 3 and the ref kept saying, "Chuck, Chuck," all the time, I felt like I had to go, which was eating into her game plan because she just wanted to counter me, and I was getting very, very frustrated. So, yeah, probably that one.
Nice. In a fight like that, where there is a lot of frustration, there's a lot of thinking and stuff like that. What's your self talk like? What are you telling yourself, and what's your corner telling you when you go into the corner? What do you want to hear from them?
Oh, first thing I wanna be told is to breathe, because you need to you need to breathe, like, and I know that sounds really stupid, but you do forget, and that's the most important thing, is, like, getting your heart rate back down, um, because I do train really, really hard, and I would say my cardio is very, very good, but you still need to be reminded to take that deep breath, when you first get into the corner. Um, After that, I want to be told like what is there, what do I need to do if I'm not quite there, and if I am taking the piss, like not doing what I need to do and not pushing the pace, then tell me that as well. So I need to be told like straight. Yeah.
Do you take like calm instructions? Do you like someone shouting at you?
Calm is better for me. Yeah, but I need to be told straight. Like you need to do this.
Good.
Yeah, but no, shouting and loads of people, no, doesn't my brain doesn't work with that.
Are you kind of a fighter that likes to know about your opponent, or you rather go in unknowing? So, like for example, you're going to fight Alina.
Yeah.
Would you research her, or would you leave that for your coach to do, and you just concentrate on your game?
I've watched her. I know what she does. I mean, like when I was up and coming, like starting to get more exciting fights, she's somebody that I've watched. I know who she was. I knew who she was on the scene. I know what she's been doing. Like she's just someone like I follow. I feel like female Muay Thai is kind of like that. Everybody kind of knows everybody round about their way, even if they're not. Girls know all the girls. So yeah, you follow them. You're interested because it's relatable, right? So yeah, I think she's a good fighter. I know her style. I know she's Muay Thai, definitely Muay Thai. But who's to say she's gonna come out different? You don't know.
Do you put a game plan for her? And I'm not saying her specifically, but when you have an opponent and you watch them, like you said, you get to know what the person is like. Do you start going to the gym thinking, actually, you know what, I want to work this, or I want to work that? Or do you focus on yourself? How does that work?
Yeah, yeah. So like we'll have a watch, and I'll send fight videos to my coaches, and I'll sit with my husband and we'll watch and have a look, see what they like to do. We don't overcomplicate it. We don't really like look into it too much. Like we said, like people can come out completely different, but just kind of having a look at what do they like to do? What's their A plan? And then how are you going to make them do their B plan? Because that's never good when you have to do your B plan. You want to be flowing, you want to be doing what you like to do. So yeah, how do you make them go to that B plan? Because then they're going to be uncomfortable. So yeah, that's what we kind of look for and what we look to do.
How do you stay motivated now? So when you're starting in, there's like a lot of targets and stuff to achieve, right? But now
Mm.
you're at elite level, UK #1. So everyone's chasing you now. How do you keep that hunger? And what's the future like for you? What excites you now?
Oh, for me, this fight hopefully will be like a cementation of me proving that I'm one of the best around about that weight in the UK. And then yeah, worlds. I want to be on the world stage. I want to be global. I want to be RWS or fight for that world title. That's the plan. I feel like I'm there. So yeah, anything's possible, but it's just kind of
For for the
towards that.
five fans that are gonna watch you on the 14th of March, what can they expect from you? If they've never seen you fight and you had to describe your fighting style to them or why they should watch you, how would you do that?
Oh, um, yeah, I'm fast, so you need to keep your eyes open, basically, or if you blink, you're gonna miss. So yeah, my coach said maybe not straight out Compton for this one, but yeah, that's what he calls it, my fighting style.
That's really it. Wicked. Um, who's helped you on your journey? Who's been the most influential person to you in your Muay Thai journey?
Like, and in terms of helping me, or like
Yeah,
just
just generally.
people. Oh, I mean, obviously, I'm gonna say my husband because he is just the most supportive person. I wouldn't. He says that I'm too complimentary of this, but I would not be anywhere near where I am if it wasn't for him. Um, he's not just doing that. He's like coaching me. He's giving me pad rounds. He's helping me with everything. Even just like how I've kind of went about like trying to, because I have to obviously structure my training around my work and stuff as well. Um, so he's kind of helped me try to plan all this too. And like if there's any days where like I do have to stay at work longer, there's always a way to work things out. And he's always more than happy to help with that. So yeah, definitely him and my coaches at Hanumen, Wojtek and Rowan. I mean, Wojtek especially, he's put a lot of time into helping me develop my style and kind of adding extra bits in, um, to the point of just like literally coaching me through so many like sparring sessions and watching through my fight and going through things and how to get better, definitely. And then obviously just following women's Muay Thai online. I mean, there's so many amazing women there that you can follow and be inspired from and watch now that it's unreal. I'm trying to think of people that I really like. Duang
See,
Denoy's
what
style.
what happens is, kinda anyone that you don't say is because you don't appreciate them at all. That's what it is. So anyone that's watching this bit, she just doesn't really care about you at all.
No,
Forget
um,
you. It's a waste of
all,
time.
all of my training partners as well. Recently, probably like for the last year now, in Scotland, I've really tried to sort of connect all of these sort of elite female fighters and people who are up and coming as well, and trying to get us to spar on a regular basis. That's been super, super helpful for me as well.
Has that
So
been a bit of a challenge getting fights? Because like your weight division is not like a massive pool.
yeah, yeah, like just kind of had to sort of take what I can get. Even this fight isn't at my natural weight class, so
Yeah. Do you think now your WBC ranked quite high as well, UK
yeah,
number one, two, and do you think like now there's a case where you start getting more of those European opponents, the more the international opponents, therefore opens it up a little bit, right? Because a lot of
yeah,
people,
exactly. It makes it a bit easier to get matched because there is that kind of bigger scope rather than just like Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales type sort of deal, you know. And because even on that scope, there's not actually that many fighting at that weight, you know.
yeah,
Um, they are opening up more categories for women in the UK at these weights, which is good. But then when you go through the category, actually trying to get someone to fight you A class is a pain in the butt. Like they they're not at that level. I get it. They're trying to build their career up. They're trying to hone their skills before they fight A class, which is totally fair enough. But then it's like they're ranked because the pool is so small, right? So you have B class pro am level fighters in there. Whereas like the men's, because there's so many, it's so saturated, every single person is ranked as an A class fighter in the UK. But for women's no, because there's not enough of us.
so we found that and we had a lot of really good potential female fights, and it was just like what you said. The struggle is getting the weights to match because
Yeah.
you also don't want to put fights where there's too much of a difference. Like if people are
Yeah.
coming down, because it's not really fair. You want the fighter to perform the best because that's what you want to watch, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, we found that a little bit tough in the UK. However, I think like whereas we're starting to branch out in terms of Europe, like Spain's got a few females there that kind of run that weight category. There's quite a few dotted around. Now you can make those connections, right? You can start
Yeah.
bringing them into the UK and then maybe getting you going to Europe.
Yeah, yeah. I'm happy to fight anyone anywhere. I really don't mind. I love fighting.
How do you like you're at that point now where you're fighting better and better opponents, so you've got to constantly fight better opponents, and all of the girls that are coming up are looking at you. You're a target, right? You are a target now
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
gonna want to come beat you up. So now, how do you balance training with work and with your aspirations to go to, let's say, RWS, for example? Uh, you're good enough for RWS, in my opinion. So
Oh,
if
thank
they offered you a fight, how would you balance it? Would you have to? I don't know, how would it work?
basically would be trying to get the right timing. We have spoken about this, me and my coach, and I think we're trying to look for hopefully something like that, or something off that high level in summer, because I can fly out in summer holidays. I get 6 weeks off work, so yeah. And I mean, if the opportunity came at any other points, albeit I could try and work something out with work, but it really just depends, like, if they would okay it or not, basically, like, for me to
A
go. But
problem you could deal with when you're there, and
yeah,
for
exactly.
now.
Like if the offer came up, you can speak to them and try and work something out. But yeah, hopefully summer would be good
So
to
when
see.
you started Muay Thai and you've You just enjoyed the sport. You enjoyed just being involved in it. Now you're fighting at elite level in fight camp and stuff like that. Do you still have the same love for Muay Thai?
Gosh, yeah, like if not more, like it's I don't even really. It is a love, but like it's an obsession almost. Like uh, yeah, like I love watching it. I love speaking about it. I mean, God forbid anybody ask me about it at work because you're not able to get me to stop talking. So, I mean, they just shouldn't ask any questions about it because they'll be there all day. Um, yeah, it's a beautiful sport. It's a beautiful art. Like and every time you think you've learned something about a little bit of it, there's just so much more. Like, yeah, it's insane.
You know what I found? Well, I've been doing this for what, about 8, 9 years now, and I interview several fighters. And I've interviewed some that's gone to really elite level now. And there's one trait that they have, which I find is quite not unique or special, is the love for the sport. And I know it sounds really stupid, but it's they enjoyed the training.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Oh
not
no,
like I want to. Yeah, they enjoyed the training, they enjoyed the conversation, they enjoyed it. So passionate about it, and it actually really it shows in the fight because
oh
they're
yeah.
absorbing it. It's not like I'm fighting for the sake of fighting because I want to have the glory of it. If that makes sense.
No, it's not even like that. It's like it's an intrinsic thing. Like for myself, I do purely just enjoy like all of it. I enjoy the training. I enjoy like even some mornings when I don't I, like generally wake up so early to go and do some sprints and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god! But see, once I'm there and I'm doing it, I'm like, I love this. This is great, and you feel amazing after it, and I always feel good when I'm training. Anyway, I'm always feel like I'm in my happy place. So yeah.
Excellent. So I'm down to my last question for you. Obviously, from childhood, from going to gymnastics, slipping your disc, stepping in, taking on boxing, Muay Thai, then finding yourself to Muay Thai training, and then going to the first fight, dealing with everything to get into UK number one, ranked in the world WBC rankings as well. With everything you achieved, when you look back at yourself, do you feel proud of what you've achieved so far?
Yeah, I think like there's a massive part of me that like I feel like I know that I would be able to do that because I'm so ambitious and I set myself these goals. But sometimes I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, that's me. I did that. And I'm almost like shocked by myself as well at the same time. But yeah, when you're putting so much work into something, it's kind of I don't know. I feel like it's hard sometimes to just sit back and smell the roses because you always want to move on to the next thing. You always want to keep pushing further and further. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Excellent. That's excellent. I was chatting to Corey, right? I interviewed Corey Chapman the other day, and I can't remember where he was, but he interacted with Eddie Farrell,
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Eddie and Bruce.
Yeah, so he goes, Eddie changed Corey's mindset a little bit. And what Eddie was saying to him was, you go to have a fight and you want to have the best fight. You want to go in there, you want to compete, win or lose. When you come out, you're not walking away from the sport. You're going to do it again. And he
Yeah.
goes, then the anxiety and stuff goes away because you're doing something that you love. There's no, there's no tension, there's no nothing. You just you love the sport. So you go in and you don't care. You don't have that same risk. There's no that same tension when you're fighting. You can just express yourself. And that's literally what it is, right? You've
Yeah.
learned so much. You picked up these bits from your different fighters and Hanuman, from your husband and from yourself. Thinking putting stuff together as well. But there's a lot of it which is your skill too. They do this, let me add that. How do I do that? Because, like if the other guy at your gym is 76 kg and you're 50, there's a big difference. Like that
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
shit ain't gonna work. But you could take that version and make it yours, right? So then
Yeah.
there's a bit of yourself. And then that journey is so rewarding for you personally that it just gives you that bit. Like you're proud of what you achieved, but there's so
Yeah.
much more. There's so much more
Yeah.
you want to learn.
Yeah. That's it. There's so much more you want to give and like want to show people what you can do. So yeah, because sometimes when you fight, it's not always like the way that you want it to go because the way that we've sort of always described it is like if imagine you're a poet or whoever is on doing a play and you have your lines to say but someone is also at the same time doing their lines at the same time they're trying to like speak over the top of you and that's kind of what Muay Thai is like it's like you're trying to get that last word in and have what is it you're trying to say more than the other person. But it's not plain sailing, it's not set lines, so you have
Yeah.
to try to do your
Okay.
best and do,
It's an
but
interesting way to put it. It's a very interesting way to put it. I get exactly what you mean. I get
yeah.
exactly what you mean. And listen, I've enjoyed this a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 14th of March. I have this feeling that your fight's gonna steal the show.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, there's
I'm
some
sure it
wicked
will.
fights on there, but I just have this feeling that you and Elena are gonna steal the show.
Yeah, she's a great fighter, and she seems like such a lovely person. I'm sure we'll make friends after, but yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight.
Definitely. Cool.
Yes.
Thank you. Just gonna
Thank you
turn
so
the
much.
recording off.